It's all yours.
Okay, welcome to the late night chat where we're reading Darwin Shaw's book Effort and Grace and studying it. And uh, so we'll see. Whoops. My ears are coming off here. I was just curious, what time is it in Australia?
Uh,
It is,
for me,
sorry, 2 p.m. on the East Coast. Peter, what is it over there on the West Coast?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Okay, so that's reasonable. Okay, so JCMA, if you can post that email. Who we have to read this?
Tony?
I'll pass on reading it. Thanks.
It must be the beard.
Let's try Richard Sander. How about Richard Sander?
Okay, Richard.
Okay. Topic: the ascending spiral of the path. Darwin would sometimes describe, dear folks of Baba, Darwin would sometimes describe life with Baba using the metaphor of an ascending spiral, encircling him to depict the spiritual path. It starts at the outer ring and spirals upward and very gradually narrows around Baba until sooner or later, usually a lot later, we are face to face with our beloved. There are walls that separate the ever narrowing spiral. To expand on that, Darwin describes in the beginning as we move along. What? Oh, hello, Nasreen. There are walls that separate the never-ending spiral. To expand on what Darwin describes, in the beginning as we move along the outer ring, we revolve through all of the many repetitious experiences we have to face in life, our diverse emotional complexes, desires, tests, bindings, breakthroughs, relationships, disappointments, failures, and successes. Taking as an example, one complex such as the fear of public speaking. At the beginning of the spiral, I'm getting there. At the beginning of the spiral, say we have to give a talk before a class in college. We go through all the agony in anticipation, extremely fearful that we might lose the thread of what we want to say. We try to give the whole ordeal to Baba as best we can in our agitated state. In the actual talk, we find ourselves stumbling over our words, struggling to remember what we plan to say, and in the end, we embarrass ourselves. We are left with a painful memory. We now avoid public talks in any way we can. But suppose a year later, we have to again give a talk, which is unavoidable. We go through all the incredible mental turmoil like the previous time. We say to ourselves, not this again. And the okay,
Look for that little blue highlight.
okay. Oh, yeah. And the talk goes about the way it did the year before, poorly. We conclude that we're not making any progress whatsoever. This goes on year after year. We do get better, but not enough to call it a substantial progress. What Darwin would say that unknown to us, each time we face this fear, we have made a circuit of the spiral and are dealing with the fear at a higher level. We are facing our complex at a more refined elevation, even though it seems like the same stubborn old problem. Again and again, we have to work intensely with the fear, and we surrender a little more of the complex to Baba. Every time we deal with such difficult situations in our life, we are really working at a higher level. And at the same time, we are moving closer and closer to Baba, who is ever present at the center of the spiral. That is, we are making headway, even if it doesn't seem so at all. Going around and round the spiral, rising slightly and often imperceptibly, higher each time. We are, Darwin would say, gradually freeing ourselves of our sanskaras, our past karma. But there comes a point when we see that we can burn through the wall of the outer spiral where we are and into one of the inner spirals and bypass the longer outer route. This is when we make Baba the center of all our aspirations, when we are facing directly toward him and are turned away from our emotional complexes that we have had to face all along the outer spirit spiral. Darwin calls this a spiritual bypass. Through Baba's grace, we can actually burn through the walls of the outer spirals one by one, and we find ourselves closer and closer to his immediate presence. And facing away from the presence of the world and our karmic complexes. This greatly speeds up our progress toward merging with our beloved. We are facing the sun, as Baba says, with our backs now turned away from our shadow, the world, and our many issues with it. In a Rumi quote, like by Darwin, he says, on the spiritual path, effort is required, but grace is 1,000 times greater than effort. When the morning sun appears, the candle of self-effort can be blown out. I have always found Darwin's metaphor of the inner path very helpful and hopeful, and which confirms that we are really drawing closer to Baba all the time through our seemingly muddling efforts. Baba, in a profoundly encouraging message, says in his discourses, the aspirant is generally conscious of the manner in which he has been responding to the diverse situations in life, and rarely conscious of the manner in which he makes progress towards self-knowledge. Without consciously knowing it, the aspirant is gradually arriving at self-knowledge by traversing the inner path through his joys and sorrows, his happiness and suffering, his successes and failures, his efforts and rest, and through his moments of clear perception and harmonized will, as well as through the moments of confusion and conflict. These are the manifestations of the diverse sanskaras which he has brought from the past, and the aspirant forges his way towards self-knowledge, towards Baba. Through the tangles of these sanskaras, like the traveler threading his way through a wild and thick forest. Does Darwin's metaphor of inner life clarify how we proceed on the path? It is clear how turning directly to Baba within can be a spiritual bypass of our otherwise slow karmic journey. In his love, Jeff. We're now continuing on page 68. And Jeff, I think you ought to make a book of these because each one comes out so clearly in describing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I hope this is helpful to you. I always found the metaphors about the inner life helpful, because the inner life is this uncharted, intangible, very subtle realm, and to have some milestones, some description of the inner terrains I find so helpful. And Darwin and Erich left behind some great metaphors. And just to say that the Sufis talk about Shariat, which is the outer religious observances, prayers, rituals, ceremonies, and pilgrimages and everything. And they talk about the inner path as tariqat. Well, the Shariat are like roads with signage and everything like that. You can proceed and it's kind of clear. But tariqat they refer to as the inner path, which they liken to traveling across a desert, where there are no markers, no signposts, very little that you can go by. And so you have to have someone who knows the path, who knows the way across the desert. And I know Rumi used to say, without a master, it takes 200 years to make a 2-day journey. So anyway, that was... But I find... Now, how did you folks... I'm just curious how you felt about these, this type of thing, because I found these things always very helpful to me, to get some metaphor that just takes this amorphous realm and kind of gives it some pattern. But anyway, any comment on that? Aha.
Mm.
Oh, we got Sabine there, and
Oh, good, Sabine. Yes.
Mhm.
Well, I have to say, Jeff, without your interpretation of the text, I probably would not have got anything out of it. I read the bypass last week, and I said to Johannes, this whole text completely passed me by. I had no clue what he was talking about. And when I read your email, it made it all clear for me. But I'm not sure I would have got anything out of Darwin's text. But thank you for sort of
yeah,
pulling it apart for me. And sort of, when you were using, or Darwin was using the example of the giving talks, it couldn't have related more to me. So, I was chuckling inside,
yeah,
thinking, yeah, I know that journey so well. So
that's me. I used to be pathological fear of public speaking. Believe me. Yeah, yeah. The normally the phrase "the spiritual bypass" is a pejorative thing. It means you're kind of skirting around and not facing the complexes in you. But Darwin is using it in a entirely positive sense of burning through and going directly to Baba through a lot of these spirals, that would normally take you along the outer route. You can get into some of the inner spiral, and you're drawn much closer to Baba. Yeah. Anything else? Other, yeah,
Jeff, may I chime in?
yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm having the trouble finding my raise hand thing, so I just had to butt in.
yeah.
Yeah, this really hit home for me in so many ways, but just like you, I had oh my goodness, such a fear of public speaking, which goes way back to my childhood when I can remember an opportunity that at one point I had to recite a paragraph or some such something religious that I had to memorize and speak on at the tender age of, like, I don't know, I was like either 9 or 10 or 11, somewhere in that range. Well, the fear that was in me, it was palpable, and so I go up there, and my mother had coached me in doing this, and I started off, but within 2 sentences, I went completely blank. I mean, I froze. I literally froze. She had to get up and come and coach me through the rest of it. And the memory of that had stayed with me all my life. I mean, I could not shake it. But fortunately, I didn't have to contend with it all these years. Well, fast forward to and I was always very I've been a very introverted person, very shy in my youth and all this. But then fast forward to 2016, when, after publishing my father's book, Norshiman asked me to to present my dad's life story at the 50th anniversary of the Glow magazine. And lo and behold, all those, inhibitions from years ago came flooding back, and I was like, oh Baba, how do I do this? But in the end, it was Baba himself who kept prodding me and saying, you can do it, you can do it. Some inner voice kept, saying, and of course I did, and I got through it okay, but oh my, the butterflies even then were there. So it's something that does not, it takes a long time to overcome inhibitions like that. But it's only when you turn your face towards Baba and just give it to him and say, okay, you have to take over and do it. Otherwise, I won't be able. And then he does. He just comes right through. So I just wanted to share that. They did.
We actually have seen you speak twice,
Yes, I
a
know.
couple
And not,
years apart.
nobody would
And
believe me if I said
when
that
you
today.
when
But
you just spoke at Marana, you
Yeah.
were just like you had been on the circuit for years.
The first time we saw you, you were more shy, but the
Yeah.
last time you were amazing.
See,
I
so
just want to give you a little
Yeah,
rundown.
it's
thank
Even
you.
more off on Danny.
she's
I know. Oh
she's
gosh.
getting at a higher and higher elevation.
I don't know, but as I said, it's just as Jeff puts it, it takes so much effort on your part, but then if you're willing to put in the effort, His grace is always there. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just to say briefly, when I was in junior high and I'd have to give these book reports, I would so dissociate that I could see my lips talking down below, and I was way off somewhere else. It was like, oh, the most disoriented
Yeah,
thing. Anyway,
true.
Okay, Robert. Thanks. Go ahead.
Well, I'm going through this exact thing right now in my life. The exact thing. I'm about to embark on a speaking tour with schools. I have a children's book that I wrote and illustrated, and now that I have schools that want the families to be present. But the challenge right now is my children's book is about a baby elephant that wants his mommy and daddy to get off their smartphones. So I'm dealing with what's going to come back at me from the parents. I'm just like, I know it's going to be it's going to be a service, but it's going to be also scary in terms of what how I'm going to phrase it. So I don't want to be laying any judgment or any negativity on the parents. But it's going to be a challenge, and I'm going to face it. But the other thing I want to say is I realized from this reading that yeah, when I'm facing my fears or going to expanding my life to be bigger, it's going to feel like I'm falling backwards because more fears are coming up. It's going to feel like and that's what I was getting from the reading there is that I'm actually in a good place. It's just that I'm going to another level than from where I'm comfortable place where I've been before. So it feels like I'm going backwards, but I'm not.
excellent. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so true.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Gail?
Well, it's interesting very much. I agree with Sabine that I have been part of Effort and Grace as groups several times. I did it when I was in India for 5 months, and it never this whole topic just never hit me, which is really weird because I was a Dale Carnegie instructor and helped people get over their fear of public speaking. So usually things like that sort of ring a bell. And I would have, I'm glad I'm not a better. I would have bet that this wasn't in Darwin's book. And so I'm happy, you know, these things are so deep. This book, Darwin and Baba, it's so deep, and it's why I continue to come back and read it again because I hear what you guys say, and it hits me in a new way. So thanks, Jeff.
yeah, yeah,
Jibba.
excellent.
Joshua.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I love this because I'm someone who weirdly is fine with public speaking. I think because of my theater background in high school, I did lots of plays and stuff like that. I'm still very anxious about so many things in life. I've got 1,001 worries and other things I get super anxious about. But for whatever reason, the sanskaras of being afraid of public speaking are gone. And I just want to tell you folks that a lot of it really is just it's just confidence. It's literally just saying to yourself, I'm going to do great, and then just not caring what the other person thinks. And then ironically, that gets you out and gets you speaking really well because it's just one of those things where the terrible thing is um, the fear of it makes you actually bad at it. And so, it's that terrible thing of you're worried you should be able to do good at it because you're so trying to do good at it, but it's just letting go that can get ones through it. But yeah, and then now I've just got to apply that to all my 1,001 other fears that I've got in my life.
Excellent. But wonderful that you kind of cleared that, opening, so but I think they say 90% the greatest fear in this country, 90% of the people suffer from fear of public speaking. I mean, I think sometimes Death is probably lower on the list. Okay. So let's, JC, if you can put that on, I think we're on page 68, I believe.
Diane, you want to read?
Read section.
Let's see.
A new paradigm.
It was the
wait.
one I
Oh no,
I
spiritual
sent you.
bypass.
Wow.
Down or
Where
up?
is it? Divine cheesecake.
Oh, I think it's,
The other way.
It's the spiritual bypass. That's what
He's trying to
I had.
find it.
yeah, we must be, it's far, no, it's the other direction. Wait, changing our values. Jeez. What page numbers do you have? I've
Well,
got,
the chapter is chapter 12, page
yeah,
68 in the
maintaining
book.
our spiritual flow.
Yeah, maintaining our spiritual flow is a chapter. So 12.
Chapter 12. Yeah.
Keep going, yeah. 11.
Yeah, we're coming there. We're getting there.
And then spiritual bypass.
Yeah, keep going a little bit there. There we are.
Go.
Yeah. Okay.
And you still want me to read, Marta?
Well, after reconsidering, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think about
Thank
it.
you. Thank you for that vote of confidence. The spiritual bypass. At a certain point, if we have enough spiritual maturity, we realize that the conditioned level is brought forth because of imagination and therefore is not as substantial as it appears to be. We become aware that we can bypass that whole level and all our previous methods for deconditioning our minds and start to burn through the walls of the spiral that is propelling us toward the truth instead of continuing around via the longer process. This is what I call the spiritual bypass. Taking this bypass, we go directly to the first cause, to the absolute, to the truth itself, which is experienced at the level of the unconscious. This is a major step in the conquest of the unconscious that Meher Baba describes. This is what the activity of grace is. This is what direct effort is. But we have not attained absolute truth itself. We have made an effort in that direction. It is the nearest we can get to the truth through our continuing process of refinement. It is like being asleep and having a dream in which we are very much engrossed, and then partially waking up and realizing, I don't have to go through all this. I can wake up. And it all dissolves. The heart gets cleared up, cleansed so that pure light can flow through the heart center and pure truth can be asserted. One then enters fully into the love realm. At this level, one is aware of the soul-loving Baba, and one gives everything to him as one would give a bouquet of roses to one's beloved. To avail ourselves of this extraordinary bypass, tremendous self-awareness is required, but this can be the work, the effort. We are still existing in time-bound illusion, however, and may not be able to dwell at this level all the time, but we can still fall back on our chosen method of dealing with our sanskaras. With your car, you shift from lower to second gear, then into high gear. We do not just start out in high gear. Spiritually, you go gradually until you become aware that you can take the spiritual bypass and go straight to God or the truth.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Anything to say about that? I mean, oh, good, yeah.
Yes, Rich.
Actually, last week I I had read this and couldn't wait till we read through it. But I agree with um, was it Sabine that said that your eloquent description, Jeff, helped to really explain the depth of this spiritual bypass. But I have to say, I'm being very frank here, but I have begun to experience this thing, and it's been a complete surprise. It started, I don't know, a month or more ago, something like that, and it started gradually, but it was exactly as Darwin describes it. And for me, what it is when he says, you don't have to go through all this. So I start getting these thoughts and emotions, and either one will tick off a thought. If it's an emotion, it's a thought, or vice versa. And suddenly I realized that's illusion. That is not real. And then I just think of Baba. I mean, I literally remember Baba, like as hard as I can. I remember Baba. And he's there. But it's what Darwin says. There's a word in there, and the phrase in there. He says it's the divine unconscious. We haven't realized consciously, that form. But that's what it is. It's reality. To me, there's reality there. It's reality. I no longer have to go through that process of worrying or even considering or thinking about the emotional baggage or the process of my karmic sanskars, right? I'm going to make one more statement. But so recently there's someone who added something to my life some time ago, and I worked on their car. And the point of this is that, I recently re-engaged with him and his wife, and they needed my help. So I worked on the car again, same car. And, but at some point I realized my ego has kind of gotten entangled a little bit in a kind of a conflict, but there's not much I can do about it. So I asked Baba what to do, and he said, don't get involved. Just remember him, right? Let him do that work. Jay Baba. Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
right.
beautifully
Yeah.
said. Yeah, I mean, I think of Baba, as I've said over the years, thinking of Baba's plan A, and if you kind of get caught in your karma, then you're dealing with plan B, and then you use all your methods to get out of the mess, to get back to plan A, you know. And it's a mixture of both until you kind of steadily can kind of hang in there with Baba. He's the basis of everything. But yeah.
Yes, Ron.
Yeah, I'll just start by saying I have a different, slightly different thing that would concern me when I was quite a bit younger. It wasn't about public speaking. I even started to sing songs to people because I just had to. So I just started doing it, and it turned out it wasn't such a bad thing to do. And not everybody liked it, I'm sure, but it's something I had to do. But the thing that really disturbed me was actually private speaking, not public speaking. I was terrified to just walk up to someone and without any kind of introduction or specific reason or anything like that, just to engage in a conversation. That terrified me because I think I feared rejection, like as if they were going to turn to me and say, "What are you doing here? What do you want?" or something like that. It was just like a fantasy or something. But whatever it was horrendous. But eventually, Baba helped me with that. Now, so what comes to mind is that it seems to me we're all here because we have to go through various experiences of a worldly nature, but only not because of the world. That's just what Baba calls a show. It's a zero. The significance of any of those things is nothing. Has nothing into nothing. However, the experience we undergo and the efforts we put into it and the grace we receive from Baba, that's what it's all about. And so we're basically just losing everything. We're not gaining anything by doing anything, but we do have an experience, and those get us closer to Baba, who knows this is all a zero. You know, he told one of his lovers it's a potato. I don't know. Maybe you remember that story.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, it really there really is nothing to worry about, but just be ready for anything.
Yeah. I mean, like the remembrance of Bob is like the Teflon lining of the skillet. You know, nothing sticks. Hopefully. Okay. Let's go on to the next section, Jacima, if... Okay.
Ron, you want to read? Ron?
Oh, was that me you're talking to? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
All right. I don't hear that well. Anyhow. Okay, a new paradigm. When we take spiritual bypass, we are standing upon the truth within. We create a new paradigm of who am I? A paradigm based on one's ideal, the beloved. And we resolve to stick to it through thick and thin. We resolve to counteract the inertia of the false self and refuse to be victimized by our old limiting paradigm of who we thought we were. We live a kind of double life. While dwelling consciously in the unconscious, we have to be rational and function normally in the world. We have to live and assert the truth, and yet at the same time, live in the world in right adjustment to it. Baba himself is there to help us do this. He said in 1936 to the Westerners he had called to India, I will teach you how to move in the world, yet be at all times in inward communion with me as the infinite being. I feel that this applies to each one of us in accordance with our capability and interest in taking the spiritual bypass. We can learn to live at the inner level all the time. It is restful, like getting beyond the choppy waves of the deep, calm sea, dwelling in the unconscious consciously. We experience stillness, peace, and fulfillment. But the main thing we experience is divine love. Continuous oceans of pure love flow through our hearts. We leave the I far behind. However, we must remain vigilant and be aware of surreptitious sanskaras slipping in from all directions. If they do intrude, bring them into the stillness where they will dissolve into nothing, like salt dissolving in water. If we make these efforts with the Master's grace, our ideal will manifest and become our reality. Someday, when we get through with all of this, we will discover that all along we have been dwelling in the kingdom of God.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I used to call Darwin Clark Kent. Yeah, I mean, leading a double life. You know, Clark Kent was Superman. You know, the mild-mannered reporter from a great metropolitan newspaper. You know, you could pass him by in the mall and think just an elderly, sweet elderly man, but he was loaded. Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
In that paragraph, however, we must remain vigilant. We must remain vigilant to be aware of the repetitious sanskara slipping in from all directions. If they do intrude, bring them into stillness, where they will dissolve into nothing, like salt dissolving in water. So what does Darwin mean when he says, bring them into stillness? Don't act on them?
Well, he's saying that you have this inner stillness through our efforts. You get beyond the choppy waters of the along the shore out into the ocean itself. We have this kind of ocean within. If we can bring these things into that realm, then they'll kind of dissolve.
Well, what's an example of that?
Well, like I say, if you just come from having been at the center and you feel very expansive and this great peace, and then something untoward happens, you can kind of like dissolve it, because you've got that ocean going on inside of you. I mean, we tend to lose it as the longer we stay in the world, but for the time being, that expansive state just, or even like in the early years with Baba during the honeymoon, a lot of things didn't touch us because we were into kind of a great expanse and things would just kind of dissolve in it, But it means having kind of developed and cultivated that inner quiet. And then things can kind of dissolve in that. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe someone else can.
May I make a comment on that too?
Yeah.
I was thinking one of the things that Baba has mentioned is how love goes with understanding, and that understanding with love is one of the greatest things we could ever be involved with. He said it's like the fairest fruit or something like that. So you can look up the quote. So I'm thinking that this stillness is when our minds are starting to get all excited about something and maybe fearful or ashamed or embarrassed, or I don't know, any kind of a thing that really is disturbing, that we can try to understand what's really happening from go to a different perspective, or just opening up and being quiet until we have a better understanding of it, and then it doesn't really bother us. Like if somebody bumps into us, we might have thought that they pushed us or something, and they're being aggressive. But then when we realize that they just somebody pushed them, or they tripped or whatever, then we understand why it wasn't really being aggressive or anything of that sort. But I think using that space to try to get to understand the situation specifically is the helpful part.
Yeah. I found it always very helpful that Arnavaz said that understanding is in the heart, from the heart. It's not up in the head, understanding, which is a nice place to put it. Yeah.
I actually read that quote this morning at Artie.
Huh.
What is that, Peter? Do you have it?
I'd have it right here if you wanted to read it.
Yeah, please read it.
I got it from Jeff's bundle. It was given to me one time, New Year's Eve quote.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The gift of understanding is more precious than any other attribute of love, be it expressed in service or sacrifice. Love can be blind, selfish, greedy, ignorant, but love with understanding can be none of these things. It is the divine fruit of pure love, the rare fruit or flower of the universe. It has been called the sweetest flower in all the world. Age cannot wither it. It grows more lovely as it casts off its outer garment, disclosing its unseen beauty within.
Wow, beautiful. That's what Ronnie, I think, was quoting, beautiful. Right?
That's right, yeah.
That's the quote, yeah. That's
beautiful.
Thank you for having that.
Gosh, that's incredible. That's great. I love that. Thank you. Peter, did you want to remark on something else beside that?
No, that was it. Just wanted to share.
Thank you. Yes, Rich.
I wanted to make a quick comment from before also, and that's I've realized, of course, none of this happens, and Darwin emphasizes this. None of it is possible or happens without Baba's direct intervention or grace. It's only possible because of that. It's not self-effort, It's just not, and it's remarkable. But there's one other tidbit I'll throw in because as this kind of has become more a part of my awareness, two things have happened. One is I've become more aware of what I would call, in my case, compassion for others. I think I've always been really selfish, and becoming more aware of every single person has their foibles, their stuff, whoever they are, you know, and that evokes compassion because I'm going through my own stuff the same way, similar way. But then there are times when I have this great thought like, oh, I did good there. Man, I can tell it's like my ego's just, Maya's just jumping on it. Like, oh yeah, Rich, you're a really good guy. Jay Baba, thank you.
Yeah, good.
Richard, you are a really good guy.
Yeah. Yeah, raise your hand if he's a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a good guy.
He's okay.
Uh-oh, now we've ruined him.
Oh my God.
Now he's got to deal with his ego. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's go. Jacima, the next. What time is it? Wait, just a second. Double check to see what time it is. Oh, wait. No, we're good. Okay.
Who shall we have read now, Jeff?
Let's try Candy. She's up there.
Okay.
Candy's always handy.
Can you see this okay, Candy?
Yeah, I'm reading from my book.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Effacing our falseness. The way of my work is the way of effacement, which is the way of strength, not of weakness. And through it, you become mature in my love, Meher Baba. Meher Baba is really all-powerful, like a divine magician. He can do anything if we completely open up to him and do not limit him by holding on to limiting beliefs. And we must not limit ourselves either, nor should we condemn ourselves. Baba works on our self-esteem, our sense of self-worth and self-confidence, because low self-esteem pushes our consciousness in the wrong direction, toward negativism. We need high self-esteem, but without egoism. No. Self-esteem equates with lifting one's spirits, not lifting the false self. Self-esteem is of the spirit rather than of the ego. Is important to retain. Self-esteem of the spirit rather than of the ego is important to retain. Self-esteem is more like a sense of integration, the bringing together of the scattered self, not like the man who got on his horse and rode off in all directions. When one is on the path, self-integration occurs as the false self is gradually shed.
Keep going. Yeah.
The path of self-effacement. Our illusory existence is maintained by our belief that we are the body or the personality, but in reality, we are nothing. Meher Baba once gave a discourse called On to Be Nothing, in which he said, to be nothing means truth. When your being is not, you are God. But the ego still asserts itself, and that is why self-effacement is so important. We combine the opposites of self-effacement and self-esteem in order to move toward nothingness. It seems paradoxical, and in a way it is. One is nothing yet beyond the opposites, one is everything. Too many people think of effacement as something negative. The fact that we are nothing is a positive, strong point, and the self-effacement should be practiced in a positive light. Keeping the self out of our thoughts and allowing the spirit of Baba to come through. Of course, we must start with integrity of purpose as spiritual aspirants, and this requires taking a different road than that traveled by a worldly person. Following the path of effacement while maintaining self-esteem involves a lot of work. In 1962, at the East-West Gathering in India, Meher Baba had me read out a message from him called "My Dear Workers," in which he said, "The way of my work is the way of effacement, which is the way of strength, not of weakness. And through it, you become mature in my life. So this path involves developing a more selfless attitude. The hallmark of spiritual progress is through self-effacement rather than worthiness. With our awareness that we are really nothing comes the realization that we do not have to try to be anything anymore. We finally decide to give up the futile pursuit of trying to become something. The situation that comes up in our lives, the situations that come up in our lives, give us ideal opportunities to see where we are still claiming something. As we give up those claims, giving everything to Baba and letting go, we then begin to see everything as myopic and not serious. In other words, we come to realize that life itself is not to be taken seriously. It is no longer seen as reality. We turn off the wanting machine and remain calm and undisturbed within. All this is part of the path of self-effacement. The path of self-effacement also involves self-denial. Self-denial does not mean pushing away a second piece of pie. It means taking our stand on the truth within and denying the ego self. This level of self-denial is more subjective than objective, and it is certainly not something that can be displayed, nor can there can be any measuring. The path of self-effacement leads to deeper mysticism and deeper faith in God, in truth, in reality. This path includes peering into the kingdom of God while here on earth, and especially experiencing some of the bliss and insight that comes with it.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
I know,
That's a lot.
Yeah.
it's incredible, but
You know, I forgive me, go here, but I would really love to hear what you have to say about this self-effacement thing. What are your feelings about this?
Yeah. Yeah. As Baba says, self-effacement is the only way for us to know that what we are going through is unreal, is not reality, is just illusion. And the only way to get rid of it is by effacing things that come our way and just leaving it all to Baba. So the more we do that, the more we leave it to him, the more we realize that we are in illusion, and that's not where we're supposed to focus our hearts and our minds. In other words, instead of facing the shadow, we should turn around and face the sun.
Thank
yeah,
you.
beautiful.
Beautiful. Thanks, go here.
And a lot of our problem is having some serious agenda with the world. I got to accomplish this. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get there, and everything. And I mean, you can spend years on just one agenda, trying to get the top of your field or something like that. I mean, that doesn't mean you don't become excellent, but if love is driving that effort, then it's different from, you know, I got to do it because, you know, you instead of glorifying your ego, you put love into whatever you're doing. Yeah, that's yeah. No, it's this is all
Achieving
very helpful.
goals in the
Yeah,
new age. In the new age, people seem to think the most important thing is to pick out your goals and achieve them. It's
exactly.
like procure the satisfaction of your desires, and they've really got it quite wrong, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. That effort just to get better and better at something, uh, when it's not linked deeply to Baba, is kind of a bit of a sidetrack, you might say. Yeah.
It's always been like that, though, hasn't it? In life,
Yeah.
you were told that. I mean, for years, it's always been like that. You have to have an ambition to be something, and then you have to be the best at it, and and all those things. And
Yeah. It just kind of universally adopted.
yes, it is,
You
and
know.
it's the right way. And if you don't do that, you know, you're just not.
You're considered a failure.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're considered a
Yeah.
failure. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
yeah.
but you
So
don't care what you're
So,
considered.
Hmm.
Baba told the cricket team, it's good to excel in whatever you take up, but you must do it with humility, and that will lead to love of God.
Right.
Yeah.
That was his
Beautiful.
message to the cricket team.
Yeah.
So
Play bright cricket, he said. Make it
right.
entertaining for others.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I'd
But
like to ask Joshua, since he's a young person and hearing about this, about, exceeding, excelling, trying to get somewhere, accomplish something. How does this land with you in a younger generation where you're trying to create your life and do whatever you're
yeah.
doing? How
You
does it
just
sound
flunked
to
out. You
you?
just flunked out of college, but okay.
Oh, you did?
Not yet. I'm hanging on by my nails. We'll see. Not yet. But yes, remember when I was talking about those 1001 fears that I had before? This does happen to be one of them. Um, but I can, on the conscious mind, I can understand how ridiculous it is. Like, in my mind, who is more accomplished than a must? They're just sitting there by the side of the road. But in the eyes of the world, nothing. But internally, they're doing all this incredible stuff. So yeah, so it is a big desire that I'm going to work with, and I'm going to try and sort of shift because yeah, I think that it's right. It's again, it's egoism. It's me. At first, it feels like fear of you know not success, but then you notice that I'm always comparing myself to somebody else. There's always a compare. I'm always. It's not that I'm just happy. I'm comparing with myself. I'm like, oh, look at how good I did in compared to how I was 2 years ago. That's incredible. No, it's always looking at somebody else, looking at this. So yeah, it's good to hear and good to try and well, look, I think there's right action. It's and with the self-effacement stuff, it reminds me of um well, what I also interpret is it's self-effacement of the small self. Mani would say people would come away from Baba and they'd feel really big. Baba would make them feel like you are the universe, you are existence itself. And so I think it's living in the big self of love, compassion, and friendship, and trying to move energy away from the small self of having a big house, multiple cars, all of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well
Really.
Thanks,
said. Well
Joshua.
said.
Well,
Thank
I
you.
think we can do all these things. We're supposed to. We're supposed to do all the things that are needed. We're supposed to be successful and whatever, but we're not supposed to be attached to it. That's what always
Uh,
everything in life with Baba is balancing on the razor's edge. It's like you're supposed to be you're supposed to have self-esteem, but you're not. But you're supposed to be humble. All
Yeah.
these you say be successful, but not attached to it. All these things. That's how life with Baba really is. So
Yeah.
it's all detachment, but be in the world, but not of it. So yeah, have 20 cars, have a big, beautiful house, be the president of the bank, all those things. Look at Don Stevens. God, if he wasn't a perfect example of all that, right? So yeah. So that's yeah. So I mean, it's not. I mean, if you like, you might get the impression, perhaps that to be a Bible lover, you just don't do anything, because it would be a good excuse, but but you just don't do anything because you don't want to be in the world. But
Yeah.
no, with Baba, boy, oh boy, he makes you
But
go in the world.
one thing I was very impressed when I was young and I lived up there near Darwin and Sheen. And Darwin, who was so dynamic, so so full of love, and so centered in everything. He could have been a senator from New York. He could have done anything. And I was amazed, given my background, that you need to kind of actualize your talents and abilities and all of that. Darwin only went up about 3 rungs on the ladder of the traffic department in Schenectady. I mean, some of it was like painting the parking slots and things like that early on. But I mean, he moved up, but he only went up so far where he could earn a livelihood and remember Baba at the same time. He wasn't, I mean, I was amazed. He wasn't driven to go higher and higher up to where you get so much responsibility and so much headache. He knew how to stop. And actually, because of that, which was kind of a violation or just contradicted my upbringing, I was able to just clean cabins down here at the center in Myrtle Beach. I mean, I mean, I could have gone right from junior high to cleaning cabins. I didn't have to go through all that college and all that torture. Anyway.
Yes, Rich.
Well, I want to issue one caveat. I guess it's for me, but when you're young, your sanskars are just jam-packed with juice and energy. It's like a driving force. And now that, like, I'm 77, and now it's like I'm trying to hold on to enough sanskars to have an identity, And drink some more coffee.
Oh, that's really funny.
Mr. Standers, are you ready for your meds?
Oh, that's a good one.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Yes, Ron.
Yeah, I came across a book by this fellow named Lawrence Peter. People have maybe heard of his principle, the Peter principle, which really, the way he described it in his second book, which was the Peter prescription, that's the one that I got a hold of. But it's important in the culture that a lot of people are living in, especially in this American culture. I mean, there's a lot of cultures in the world that one might be living in, but this one dictates that we rise in what the culture considers more successful. And what he was saying is, if you really get caught up in that value, you'll rise to the level of your incompetence. So that's something to be aware of, not only for yourself but in others. And I think that's one of the reasons Erich didn't like ambition, because ambition usually is based on those kinds of values. So like one of the examples in this book was, this fellow had this wonderful restaurant that everybody enjoyed. It was very successful, and one of his customers one time really was pushing him. He said, "You should have another restaurant like this. I mean, like on the other side of town. They'd love it over there. Why not? You already know how to do it." And he talked him into it. So he opened up that other restaurant, and it just split his time in such a way that he really couldn't do justice to either one, and he basically went out of business. So by trying to expand himself and become much more successful by having more than one restaurant, he lost it. He was incompetent to have that.
Yeah, I mean, in business, that's one of the big dangers is when you get this inflated idea of wanting to expand. That's
Yeah.
that's a lot of times where things go under.
Or become the manager when you have terrible management skills, but you've got that title, you're the manager.
Okay.
Well, it's after the hour.
Yeah, it's kind of after the hour. Any chance, uh, let's see, Goer, do you have anything
Yeah,
on
I have a
hand there?
quote.
Okay,
Sure, Jeff, I have a quote.
good.
Baba says, all that frightens and confuses you and sorry, my light is very poor. I'll start again. All that frightens and confuses you and grips you with despair is your own shadow. When the sun of love manifests its glory and all faces are turned toward the radiance, all shadows will have disappeared. Even the memory of them will have vanished. So there you go.
Yeah.
Facing the sun, not the shadow. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, let's have a few moments of silence.
Yeah.
And then, oh wait, have we got, let me see. Sometimes we have people that have a little poetry. Let's see here. No, it looks like we're a little bit weak. Okay, yeah, let's have a few moments of silence. Jai Baba. Hey, I have a song that I could maybe play. I think some of you have heard it, but if I can find it. Let's see here. Huh, wait.
How are you doing, Marion?
Oh,
How are you, Miriam?
Hey,
I just want to say hi, check in while Jeff's finding the
yeah.
song.
Here's a
thank you.
song.
I'm doing.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay, very good.
yeah,
Yes, Jeff.
yeah. She was over hugging a tree in the Central Park and got lost track of the time.
I got
So
lost.
here,
I got lost in the snow.
uh-huh.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, hey, so you probably have heard this before, but I say as an introduction that I heard one of Mara's favorite quotes of Baba's. It may be a quote by Mani, I don't know, but where Baba said, "Seeds germinate in soft soil. I plant my seed of love not in your strengths but your weaknesses." And there's a quote that Mani used to share, which was not her own quote. I think it was on the box of something that they, sometimes, uh, tea or they have like different quotes. This is the quote: "I pray to you for strength to carry out your work. You gave me weakness, so I would depend on you." So this song, it's in the valleys that I grow, and it's big. So here we go. I know Goer has heard this, but maybe not all of you. Here it is.
We can't hear it, Jeff.
We can hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it?
Share
No.
your screen. Try
You
sharing
need to
your
share
screen.
sound. You share sound.
Share sound.
Oh, it's not happening?
No.
Oh, yikes. I don't know what to do. I'm
Are you
Techno challenged.
are you trying to share your screen or your
share.
yeah? When you open
Oh,
up
okay, just a second.
when you open up share, you have to make sure you click share sound first.
Say that again, Robert.
When you
Um,
click on
Jeff,
share screen and before you select the thing you want to share, you have to click on share sound first. That's on the
Shoot.
right hand
So
side. Share
Jeff,
sound.
Jeff, you were just made a co-host. So if you go down to the bottom toolbar where it says share.
Wow. Shall I,
Jeff, you can do
anything
it.
I
Just
can,
no, you can do it. Just listen to
so
Diane.
what should I do here?
So at the very, on your Mac, at the very
Oh,
bottom,
wow.
there's a list of tools. Participants, chat, react, and then share. It's
I'm
green
lost.
with an
Got a
arrow.
green little box.
Let's see. I
it's
think
in
we
the
may have to
same,
pass on that. I don't quite know what to do.
it's in the same line of your
Should
mic
I try it again?
icon. You have the mic icon,
Can you
video
folks
icon.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
JC was trying to tell you something.
Like you have this mic icon, video icon.
Video?
Microphone.
Oh, okay.
On that line itself, you go to the right. You will see a share icon. Like you have participants, chat, then share
Oh,
on the
shoot.
same line of mic, video at
Dang.
the bottom.
Box with an arrow.
Green
Wow.
box.
Dang it.
Is there any way you can, where is this, is it a song? Recorded
Yeah,
song?
it's a song.
Pam
Is it
Rubenstein.
Is it something that I can get on YouTube?
Shoot, I don't know.
No, I think
Darn
he
it.
was going to sing it.
So what? No, I wasn't going to sing it.
Oh.
Does someone know where? I've got down below. I've got auto, video, participants, chat, react, more.
Share. We don't have a share box, little green box.
I don't
right
think
there?
I do.
Next to react.
It's next. There's one thing that says more here.
Click
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Share.
Okay, folks.
Very
Sorry
good.
about
See,
this.
But
I
we're
knew
not
you'd
done
find
with you yet. Click on share.
Yeah.
And
Which
then,
I did.
And then all the way to the right, under share options, there's a thing that says share sound. And click on that.
Oh, shoot. Now I'm lost again.
you-
What was it? What was that thing down below?
Yeah.
Share. Green
No,
box.
but what gets me up there? Under react?
No. Next to react is a share button.
Oh, there it is, share. Okay, I got it. And then I go to the right of that?
To the right where it says share options,
Yeah.
click the share sound box.
Oh boy. I've struck out.
And just
Jeff, we can land this plane with you. All of us believe in you.
yeah.
You're on the right path.
You're almost there.
See if this. Can you hear that?
No.
No.
Dang it.
Just don't do it, Jeff.
Yeah. What's that?
Don't do it. You don't have to do it.
Yeah. Darn it. It's weird. I got share here.
The share sound is what you need.
Share sound.
Baba, please show Jeff what he needs.
Yes.
Oh, hey, I got it. Share sound.
See, Baba,
See?
Baba.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
came
but
through again.
don't think you've got it.
Now, one more step.
Oh, God.
And you see where it says at the bottom in blue, share?
Yeah. Yeah.
Click on that.
Yep.
And do you see do you have it on a file? Do you see your song there?
I've got the song on a different thing altogether.
What does that mean?
I've got it on my desktop.
That's fine. Aren't you on your desktop now?
Yeah, but I'm well, God, my.
You can only share what is on the computer you're working on.
I'm going to try this. If this works out, if this doesn't, I'm passing. It's in the valleys. Okay. If you can hear this, fine. Otherwise, I'm going to forget it. Okay, here we are. See if you hear this.
Papa.
Can you hear that?
No.
Oh, heck.
No.
You don't hear that?
No.
Is original sound on?
Yeah, original sound is on.
Well,
Yeah.
Baba, Chris doesn't
I don't know
because
what the
of
heck
water.
I'm doing.
I think that's Paul Simon's Sound of Silence. I'm hearing that.
Yeah. Well, folks, it was good while it lasted.
That was fun.
Nasreen's here.
Okay, Nasreen.
Yes,
This
sir.
was all a lead up to Nasreen.
You've risen up to your level of incompetence, Jeff.
Low self-esteem without egoism.
Oh, God. Help us, Nasreen. Help us.
Okay. Avatar, Baba,
DJ.
Avatar, Baba, DJ. Avatar, Baba, DJ. Jai Baba.
Hey,
Thank
Baba.
you.
Jai Baba, thank you.
Hey, Baba.
All right, folks. And I guess we're coming up to Baba's birthday in a little bit. Hey, there's Anaita from Mumbai. Yeah.
Baba.
Hey, Jeff, you can ask Angela. Maybe Angela can help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angela would.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys. I ran into a bunch of those things you suggested.
You were so close, so close.
Still didn't do it. Still didn't
You
make
could
it.
have been a contender.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep
Anyway,
up the
folks,
effort.
Baba,
you have a nice. It's a beautiful song. Hey, Kizgoa,
Hey,
I'm sure you got it
I
there.
am.
Well, I had found the words to the song, Jeff, and I'd given it to Pam. I forwarded it to Pam Rubenstein, who put it to music.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
do you have it there on your computer?
No, I don't have the song on my computer.
Okay.
I think if you get Pam to send you a direct link, maybe that'll help.
I mean, I've got the song because I can
got-
hear it. I can
Yeah.
hear it myself, and you guys aren't hearing it. That's
You
the
just have
thing.
to figure out how to, share it.
And we got Payam there. How are you doing, Payam?
Hi, Jay Baba.
Hey, Baba.
Anything
I'm
to
very
say?
good.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much to say, but
Yeah.
it is hard to be in the world, and I feel for some of the people who are still in the work mode and having to deal with goals and agendas and all of that.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah, and before you know it, you're retiring, and got a place on the sofa somewhere. And
Yeah.
That sounds
And
like
you're
us.
lost. And you're lost without goals. We lost without goals.
yeah.
Jeff, what
Yeah.
is the name of the song?
It's in the valleys
valley
that I grow.
In the valleys that I grow?
Yes, it's in the valleys that I grow.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song.
Jeff, you've sung that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So Jeff, that's like the song. You have to be careful what you ask for because it was a valley of technology that you fell in tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you grew.
It's in the valleys that I rove. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Hey, I heard.
Can you hear this?
Yeah, I hear it. This is it.
Sometimes my life seems hard to remember, it's in the valleys that I grow. And if I never left the mountaintop and knew nothing more of pain, I seldom would remember you, and my life would be in vain. I have so much to learn about, and my growth seems very slow. Sometimes I need the mountaintops, but it's in the valleys that I grow.
Uh-oh, we lost it.
Huh. Sorry about that.
Looks like we're gonna eventually we'll get to the mountains.
Jeff,
before.
maybe we can set it up next week
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
screen so then
We'll
we
set
can
it up.
play
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Pam singing it.
So sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Did
everybody
you
try
for running
beautifully.
any business. We call these the 7 forces of business,
Jai
man.
Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Yeah. All
Good
right.
night.
See you guys. Jai
Good night,
Baba.
Jai
Baba. Thank you,
Baba.
Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye-bye.
It is on you. It is on YouTube with a beautiful video.
Yeah.